In this video, I'm going to share with you my exact step-by-step process of building client projects, what I do, what steps I go through for building those projects, right? So first of all, what we do, I actually usually prefer to go ahead and set up my Calendly link. And please do that. This is so important. So when we do that, we send our link to the client. For example, I've got here Discover Call. And for Discover Call, what you can do, you can add questions, like small questionnaire here. And as you can see over here, duration, host, availability, location, and let's see, a booking page. And as you can see, for example, when we choose one here, right, I also add here first name, last name, email, what are you looking to build, how much are you willing to spend for this to be completed, and all these questions. So in order to kind of like qualify my clients, right? Once you do that, then you can pick whatever platform you want, but I'll usually go with Google Meet. And on Google Meet, when we are on the call, right? So let me actually start an instant meeting. When you are on the call with your client, right? So I'm on the call with my client, for example, right? And I'm on the call. And here, for example, you see this as Gemini, sorry. Start this. So click on Start Now to record your meeting. Once you record that, the transcript, all the summary, what you talked with your client will be sent to your email, right? So if we do have some examples here, this is the invoice. By the way, this is the, for example, the proposal example. I will also come back to this, right, in a minute. But this is also the, there should be, yeah, there you go. And for example, I had a call with someone and a potential client, and here, as you can see, we got like summary. Obviously, this was kind of like a short, or actually I forgot to start like recording this, but depending on the length of your call, right, and length of your call, no, sorry, actually no, so there you go. We got all the all that stuff, as you can see, recorded here with timestamps here, as you can see what we actually have talked. And once you have this transcript, keep this is so important. Then I open my Claude. Claude is great because it can be integrated with, actually let me stop this, actually end this, okay. So it has direct access to your Google Drive, right? Please make sure that it has access to your Google Drive, and once you do that, then as you can see from Drive it says, so let's see, add from Google Drive, right? As you can see, since I opened it recently, I can add it to my Claude. When you add this transcript from your like Google Drive directly without like downloading it, then importing it here, once you add that here, as you can see, it has been added, then you say, please generate a proposal for this actual proposal using this transcript that meets the client requirements. I often do that, and once you send, I'm not gonna do that because yeah, that's not necessary here, but once you do that, it will generate you the proposal, and then you can copy it in your Google Docs and then download it as a PDF, right? Or you can tell your Claude to turn it into a PDF itself, and or like Google Doc itself actually. Then you export it to your Google Drive, right? Or Google Docs, not Drive, Google Docs. And then actually, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it for it. And well, it's doing its job here, right? It's doing its job and it's thinking here. And then once you do that, you export it to your Google Drive, right? Actually, Google Docs. And then you download it as a PDF, right? And then you take the same proposal And if you are on Cursor, and I definitely recommend you to use Cursor, because in my experience, it's much better than VS Code when it comes to agentic AI coding. And then you can either like here, right? You actually upload your proposal here and tell it, hey, start building this for me, or actually not building, but I often choose here the ask mode, and I tell it, please like start asking me questions for build and for the package requirements and all that, and give me step by step like guidelines or the exact steps of this project. I often like to write the code myself so that I can keep track of it, and then it later down the road I can like debug it easily, right? So that's a lot more better in my opinion than letting the AI model like write all that code and then have all the garbage code and struggling to the way, right? So that's my preferred way of handling things, right? So you can vibe code it, but if you're a software engineer, don't do that, because you already have the knowledge and you know what you're doing. You know like what packages to install, what are the requirements, right? You can read the documentation, you can learn and all that stuff. So if you want to provide the best value for your clients, then don't like vibe code your entire project, right? Obviously, if you are really experienced and if you know what you're doing, then go ahead. But again, for me, I actually prefer to give my clients like 4 week period. This is a like conservative timeline that I give my clients. Oftentimes, I know that I'm gonna use AI not just write the code, but also learn from this client project and provide them the best value, right? And you can do the same, right? But often, again, 4 weeks as a conservative period. I often finish projects like in 2 weeks. For example, this project is done in just 2 weeks, right? So again, for your like sake and for client's sake, use AI less for coding, but use it for planning. So okay, so it asks me, I'm gonna pick this one for now, but this proposal, like this transcript was actually about like potential partnership with them. That's why it asked me this question, these questions, but will ask you different questions, and you will have to actually answer them, right? For now, I'm just gonna pick this one and go ahead. Once you do that, then let me see how long it is. Okay, 9 minutes, good. So once you do that, right? Once is this, open another Claude chat, right? Or you can start like doing it here, but yeah, you can open another Claude chat and tell it to write the requirements for this, but give it a role. But actually, you know what? Just open it here, give it a role, tell it that you are an experienced like software engineer with years of developing like experience, right? Oh, that's a great sentence actually to make, but anyway. So, and when you do that, it and tell it like give you the project requirements, what to build, what not to build, right? And also like actually tell it like teach you, not write the code for you, but teach you. And let me actually show you how it looks in real world. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. You've got agent prompt. So for example, this is what I do, right? This is the agent prompt, which has been generated by Claude Code. So I say, you are my technical teacher and code reviewer for the rest of the project. You do not write the code. You see, I specify here, you do not write the code, not a single line, not snippets, not here's roughly what it look like, not pseudocode I could copy and modify. If I ask for code, refuse and instead push me harder on the concept until I write it myself. This is really important because whatever you try from that point onward, it won't write any code for you, right? It won't even write a line of code for you because it knows that, hey, they're not allowed to write the code. And once you do that, then you copy all this into your cursor agent. Another tactic is that when you have so like your chat is so long, right? You can actually also write the pickup like handover prompt, right? So let me actually show it to you. What is that? Handover is should be, yeah, hand, right? As you can see, we got handoff prompt, right? I tell it, hey, again, the same thing. I did it up there, and I tell it like to pick up from where we left. I usually divide I already tell it like to divide, for example, the project into 7 phases instead of writing like code in just one day because it can be overwhelming. And I usually recommend you to divide your projects into phases like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And I tell it for example, if I'm on like phase for example 5 on that specific day, I tell it, hey, pick up from like phase 5 where we have left off, right? And as you can see, we tell it, hey, what's done for now, like all the phases. Phase 6 a full phase 6 7 full complete, and now we got phase 6 part B, right? We start picking from there, right? As you can see, it actually does that. So this is how it really works, right? This is how it actually, this is how I actually work. Like this is my real world step-by-step process of building client projects and using AI to its full potential instead of vibe coding, right? And I hope this helps you as well. As you can see, we got the project. You see, we got the project, right? A proposal for the law firm. You see, right? Fully, like from the transcript. That's why I tell you, always start recording your meeting. Always start recording meeting. Do take notes, right? Do take. It's better also start like recording your meetings and getting the transcript, so that way you feed it in your AI chat bot and then start like using it for your project. Then what you need to do, just you tell your AI again using the same prompt. I'm gonna actually paste all the prompts down below, like in the description, so you can just copy and paste it, and then use it for yourself, right? And yeah, this is pretty much it. And use it for yourself and start like building from there. Then you take all these again prompts you have just generated, you copy and paste it here, and in cursor you can either use Composer 2.5 or Claude like 4.6. I use Claude 4.6 to planning actually, but for then asking like questions and help using AI along the way just to review my code and analyze it, I switched to Composer 2.5 because it's cheaper. That Composer outputs like 4.6 for reviewing and for like having an AI model as your like technical supervisor, so to say. I use Composer 2.5 because they pretty much the same in terms of like reviewing and checking your code, right? For high level planning, right? Opus 4.6 is better, definitely. But from after the planning stage is done, switch immediately to 2.5 to keep costs low. But if you all obviously have the money, and if that's not your issue, then you can stick to 4.6, not a problem at all. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something from this video as well. So have a great day and see you soon in the next video.